Hey, good morning, good morning, good morning. Um, yeah, how we doing? Let's just wait for a few of you to come in. We've got some really funny stuff going on right now, haven't we? It's like this NHS thing that we've got. It's like got to protect it at all costs, and I do get that. But that's if what's going on in the world is genuine, right? Is it genuine? I've got so many people coming at me now, funeral directors, people that work in the thingy saying, "So what's going on, Dave? Something ain't right here." And I'm someone that just questions everything. That's all. I'm not a conspiracy nut job, although that's becoming the norm now, isn't it? Most people are tuning in to Ike, um, over 1 million views the other day. But you seem to have a permission slip now, people, to go shopping. You can't take your kids. You have to have a permission slip. If you work for a corporation, you put it in your car. Lets the police know that you're allowed out on the road. I'm always reminded about this little bit of scripture. I am the Lord your God, and I set you free from the land of Egypt, from the house of bondage. And here we are now, closeted and clutched right up in bondage. But everywhere's got a silver lining. Right, people, if you're facing eviction, this is class, by the way. This is just genius. This is the system at its finest, not realizing what it's doing. A friend of mine had his house taken from him last year. I've had a couple of people that this has happened to, actually. And what they did was they took their homes back because they don't tolerate corporate bully boys. And as we've said before, government only exists on paper. That's all it does. I am the Lord your God, right? And I set you free from the house of bondage, right? And I set you free from Egypt. Come on, the parting of the waters, people. But look, if you're just due to get your house repossessed, here's a fantastic thing, right? Let them repossess it. Let them come in, install all them lovely shutters that are bomb-proof, shatterproof, glass-proof, fortify the doors, and then you go and you get it back, and you leave that infrastructure in place. Yeah, it's probably not limited, but then are they ever going to get back in? It's genius. It's genius. A friend of mine's done it. He said, "I'd like to see him get past that now," and it's true. They spend like 5 hours trying to get into the places. Just watching your live from yesterday. Hello, Sonia. I'm only in for 10 minutes. I've got to go. Well, 5 minutes now. But you've all got to have permission slips now. A permission to do this, a permission to do that. Someone locally got the amnesty, and this is what I want to see happen, is people getting the ump. Because when you get the ump, you start doing things. You start thinking outside the box, right? When you're in your comfort zone and you've got everything, you've got the telly, you've got the football, you've got the beer in the fridge, all that, it's cushy. You don't have to worry about too much. But when push comes to shove and we're all seeing this and that happen, we will have no choice but to think, well, what's going on here, and make a stand. And someone just put up a thing of a bicycle path or a footpath being sectioned off. It says walkers are okay, but cyclists are not. Can you make any sense of that? So I said, rather than film it, just rip it down. Take it down. The Fourth Reich are taking your rights away. You've got to stop it, because you were set free from the house of bondage out of the land of Egypt. You were set free. Why have you gone back into bondage? Don't make sense to me. And I've always said I'd rather die on my feet than live a life on my knees. And that's true. I just love freedom, people. I love freedom. To me, it's more than a 7-letter word. It really is more than a 7-letter word. Do you love in that Cadbury's purple? It's lovely, isn't it? Eh? Oh, I want to see it over night time. I didn't come in last night. I'd done a couple yesterday and I thought I'd get going. So, we're in some weird times. What's going on? But the more that they take from people, so this woman locally on a local group to me, she said she was out shopping with her daughter. She said a massive bus turned up, like a double-decker bus. She said all these people that have just flown in from Calais on boats and stuff arrived, and they all piled off, and they just piled straight into Aldi. and just was rifling the shelves, grabbing their food, whatever they wanted, and or probably all being paid for. She said it really upset her because there they all are observing the social distancing because we're so obedient. You as a people and as a country, you are uber obedient, and I kind of dig that, but I think it's gone a little bit too far now, people, and it really upset her. And I'm glad it upset her because she might now looking to start doing something about all this nonsense that's going on, right? And it's only once we come into that alignment and awareness that something majorly is massively wrong that we're ever going to do stuff about it, right? Exactly the same with me. I was living my life perfect. I had no problems. I always thought that this was done in good faith with clean hands, and it's not. So I was just bumbling through life, earning a fortune, building houses, doing this and that. And it was only once when the system sort of crossed me and scorned me and made me feel like a naughty school kid and tried robbing me that I started questioning things. That was all it was. It was only the fact that they pushed me just that little bit too far, and my morals and my conscience gripped me and went, no, that ain't right. Christians should never be treated like that. People should never be treated like that. Whether you're Christian or not, it's up to you. Whether you believe in God, you don't. You do, you don't. So, but all I'm saying is this book frees you from Egypt, and they can't operate on a man. I'll show you what I carry, actually, before I disappear. I keep my sovereign decree in my pocket, in my wallet, and this is a 3-page thing. And this is, if ever I get pulled over, that's what the old bill get. And it says affidavit of divine truth with the I am the duly sound mind without prejudice. And it's basically placing me back under common law jurisdiction, under the Christ consciousness. And they've got a real problem with that because they can't operate on you. They can only operate on fictions, people. They can't operate on real men and women. And I just hope, right, I'm at a point now where I'm hoping that more and more and more of you are starting to see this play out and see the truth and realising it for yourself. Personally, I think that they're all pushing humanity that way so that you've got no choice but to find yourself and find your true self and find your kahunas, because the ladies have got bigger balls than the boys nowadays. Anyway, peeps, I'm going to go. I've got to be at a place by 10 o'clock. Doing some little bits and bobs for someone today locally. And thank you, Sonia. This is a beautiful colour. It's Cadbury's purple. So if you all go out today and buy a Cadbury's chocolate, I've subliminally put a little spell on you. Any chance of meeting up at some point, Merv? Yes, of course, bruv. Where are you based, Merv? Yeah, where are you based? See, look, all you've got to do is come into Christ. And that's about resurrection, all right? The birth certificate is a split title. You've got the Christian name, given name, if any, or stillborn. Remember, you was all registered as stillborn. It says it on your birth certificate. I'm not lying. Go and check it out for yourself. It will say in your birth certificate, stillborn, given name, if any, even stillborn. It will tell you that. So you've been brought into the world as a stillborn, as dead, but what you have to do, it says Christian name. So you come into Christians, like if you look through the Bible, the Apostle Paul, Peter, John, Mark, Matthew, Luke, yeah, they weren't called Paul Smith, John Doe, were they? They were just called Matthew, Mark, Peter, Paul. So that's what you have to do, people. Come back into being the Christian or whatever belief and faith, whatever it is that you have. Come back into that side, and then you're back into the real world, and then you can operate in. Come down, Merv. We'll do it. You can come down to the office, mate. Come down to the thingy. We'll do a live feed. We'll get you out there. We can have an honest debate. That's what I want to start doing, is bring people down in, and we can set this up and have good, open, honest debates like we used to. All right. So, people, I'm going to get going. So I've got to be there by 10. I will be back with you later today. We'll talk about the birth certificate and the split title and coming back into the land of living and how to resurrect people, because the book, through the story of Jesus Christ and resurrection, is a coded message of how you should be and what to do if you wish to come back into the land of living. Because remember, Christ said, only in my name are you saved. And that is the Christian name. And if you're in the Christian title or the Christian name and the Christian standing, you can have anything you like. All right. But if you're playing the decedent, the dead, the stillborn thing. They own that, yeah. But one thing's for sure, they can't play with the Christian when you know who yourself is, and that little spark has been invited and lifted within you. They have to bow down, because remember, Et de mon doigt, the lion and the unicorn on the top, that little crown. Go and look at the Queen's crest on the front of gates of Buckingham Palace. And the unicorn got knocked off by a van a few months ago. You'll see that the crown's on the top, and it says in there number 2. That is the second coming. It's not Queen Elizabeth II. That's the second coming. All right. And that's you resurrected. That's you coming back into the spirit, into the Christ consciousness, and living by the law that's established and based in that book, because it's a covenant and it's a promise, and it can't be taken away from you. I love you all. I'll see you a little bit later today. All right. Stay blessed. Check out the Cadbury's Purple.